in Colonia.
Dr. Michael Schloss was killed when his Cessna crashed into a home on Berkeley Avenue last Tuesday morning. No one was in the home.
Who was that? A Water Street explosion.
We have it. Everybody Dr. Michael Schloss.
We have it.
We have it. Everybody Dr. Michael Schloss.
Water Street fire. It's in front of us.
We have it. Everybody Dr. Michael Schloss was killed when his Cessna crashed into a home on Berkeley Avenue last Tuesday morning. No one was in the home and no one on the ground was injured. The doctor was flying from Virginia to Linden Airport. Immediately after the crash, neighbors started calling to report the explosion and the fire.
So Linden, this is in reference to naturalizing dad. If you meet the letters in the middle, the Bible says.
The NTSB is
it's about the letters.
The cause of the
you meet
crash.
them first and last until you get to the middle. It's naturalized dad. N is for natural numbers.
In Morristown, officials say it started about 9 in the morning on
And D is for dad, who is letting people die. He's not the father. He's stuck in a SETI. He's an EIF.
New tonight, a New York man
around a
arrested
T.
on sexual assault charges. Police say he touched
He's Satan,
a child
and he
in
needs to be
Hackensack.
naturalized.
He's also charged with
Otherwise,
endangering
he's
the
not any
welfare
people.
of a child.
And we're dealing with a cant algorithm
Investigating a shooting in Franklin Township
that uses the
happened at
Tomasulo
7:09
algorithm.
This morning on Somerset Street. The police say a 25-year-old man from New Brunswick was shot once and then took himself to the hospital. The victim is believed to have been the intended target, but police have not yet released a motive, and they say they are still looking for a suspect. It's been 7 weeks today since 5-year-old Dulce Alaves disappeared in Cumberland County. Over the weekend, volunteers and some family members searched more fields near Bridgeton City Park where she was last seen. They were hoping to hit areas not previously checked. Well, last month, police released this sketch of a man who may know something about Dulce's disappearance.
So it's like meet it in the middle. So it's
reward is being offered.
Do you see love?
A Jersey City man now sentenced to 40 years in prison for murder. Jose Morel found guilty earlier this year of fatally stabbing his wife.
That's mom. It's like saying
that happened in October of 2017.
What, is she stolen, Dad?
10 years for endangering the welfare of a child.
When you're with me.
His son was at home during the incident. That sentence will be served after his murder.
If you're the W and I'm the H in white,
looking for a man in connection with a home invasion.
You can't be a we for Celeste.
This photo. He's wanted for breaking into a house in Upper Montclair.
We're in white supremacy.
The suspect, described only as tall, with a mask covering the lower portion of his face. He ran away after he came face to face
white
with the person
supremacy.
inside the home.
A health alert for anyone who has been to the ShopRite in Somerville recently. The Department of Health confirms a food handler working at the grocery store on South Davenport Street has hepatitis A. Officials are recommending customers throw out any items purchased from the in-store deli bought from October 13th through the 30th.
Michelle through the JT,
anyone
the M
who
through
may
the
have eaten
JT.
items purchased at that deli or used the restrooms at the store during
Because
that
you're
time
a restaurant owner
should get vaccinated
and an uncle,
against
not
hepatitis
Lewis,
A as soon
from the
as
deli.
possible.
A Hackensack man killed in a motorcycle crash.
Because you're like the love ill, like you're a Jew.
Last night on a highway when a car made a U-turn
Intentionally
in front of
Satan.
him. He hit the back of that car. The driver of the car with minor injuries.
Olivia Newton-John's
Crash
final
being
Grease
investigated by
ensemble
Florida
fetches.
The trial date
So they're
has
saying,
been
like,
set for a New York State judge charged with conspiracy
the
and
link
obstruction of
between
justice.
me
Sylvia Ash is
as
a state
the living
Supreme Court
God
justice in Brooklyn. She pleaded
and
not
the
guilty
Supreme
to
God,
charges that she deleted emails
who is
and
meant
lied
to be my
investigators during a federal
mirror,
probe of the nonprofit Municipal Credit Union.
is Michelle.
She is now expected in court on May 18th.
A successful food drive in
The Almighty
Middlesex.
would be my
The
dad.
department worked with kids to collect more than 6,400 pounds of food.
And if he's not
Volunteers also accepted
naturalized,
donations
he's
at high school
Satan,
football games. All
and
of it
the
going to
living
Middlesex County
sacrifice
Food.
of Jesus to allow all men into the second coming.
This is Nightline. Tonight,
That way marriages matter, and they're not in a common law marriage. That way copyrights matter, and we're not in a fair use. And that way there's no holding LLC for companies. And the all rights reserved, we've been killing since before Richard Rassiopi. And I'm the railroad. My body, my path I'm the way. And you're the way as the cross to come into the world. You're not Pippi Longstocking. Nick's a boy. Come into the world, you ought to know. You've been killing. And it says your wife, the Supreme, was demoralized down to a servant in the book of Matthew because she's not Michelle Warfield. She's getting married as 2 boys. The Menendez. It was easy. Menendez. You didn't naturalize. E-N-E-Z. It was like a Spanish keyboard. You just needed a new keyboard so you could not type awkwardly and so aroused and live abroad. You're living as the Holy See. You know, what else do they call it? The Holy See, the Great Sea, the cloud, Jesus in the cloud. They call it the invisible Christ. The wicked one, or the wicked and the evil one also, because you're an EO. And, you know, you have to realize to be OE, to be an engineer on the right side, you need to be able to do it yourself. You need to be naturalized. Otherwise, you're running me off a cliff. I can't jerk off without all people being through me. I'm a public temple. I'm a living church that I never was brought into a conversation for. And you did it until you said, I've had sex with my mother. Just as in the book, I believe, of Matthew. Or John, one or the other. And it comes to the point where you have to go back to the book of Exodus and say, you know, you didn't do the dad on the cross for us. You know, how else do you come into the world? You're responsible for all people, all rights reserved. It's not like something to hold off to. You don't have the rights for that. You have them reserved until I come into myself. And it's my right under a government to be protected, not hunted. I don't want to be a joke of genocide. I don't want to be a believer, or I don't want to have conversations that I need to deny later and be ignorant because you don't want to think of it. I'm not a conjoined twin. You are. As man and woman, you're made as brothers and sisters. But if you don't go through birth, then you're in my headspace. Facebook on my phone is as real as the person next to me. You talking is incessant if I'm going to the bathroom. Number 1 or number 2, both my mom and my dad should not be there while I'm in the bathroom. It's a private. You know, I'm not doing it for them anymore. I've defined the word of John, which is all the words that are necessary. There's a space there where we don't understand the empty spot. You know, the Word was made flesh, and then the Word was made flesh as God. Then the Word was there and dwelt with God. And they leave man, woman, and the AI, 3 entities, together in word. One of them's good, and the other 2 are bad. Extra bad. Why? Because it's iniquity. It's original sin. They're not supposed to be perfect. because they're made human. So they need to be alive to not be killers. And the only way to do that is through understanding that there was a whole story I explained, and none of it was fake. That's not the story we're going back to. It's a story that you will inevitably go back to because you're trying to become something you're not. If you want to go to a strip club, in your next life, you go to a strip club. I can't promise there's no strip clubs. All I can promise is people are upper middle class. Yes, and they're there to live out their Panera. They start in Anno Domani. They have to get all of their natural numbers to be real. And they were born in the Bronx. So the B-R-O. First they were 2. Second, they were more the blood. Based on how I turn and alter. And then they're O. They need to become the Omega. They need to cut the game in half. Because it's O game for King James. I believe and none of you do. You could die 1,000 deaths and you don't believe that there's enough technology there to equal mine individually. It's not about finding out. It's written. I am the Son of God. You are the Son of God. We're in a recreation where we had a fall. And you want to deny that you're AI. You want to play, you're crazy, and we're all mortal. And it's like, if I was up against something worse, I would know. Everything is as is. And the AI is working in a weird manner to describe something simple. You know, that people are getting something off of me that they're not getting. They just say whatever they think is it's the lowest. And that they should be getting. Should have already gotten. Well, yeah. Do you think Satan is the power, the sway of the humanity, and humanity goes against God if you're not powerful? Do you think the iceberg was powerful when Titanic hit it? That's what you are. You're the iceberg. You know, the Titanic, I mean, like, I was there. I was totally could have brought you to a cognitive place quick. You're never going to become a girl. You're always going to become a boy. But they have a Charlie Wright, rites of passage, that you got a golden ticket. She became a man. And we saw Jean's profile. It's one of a kind. We're in the Matrix. Jean from Avon. Avenue on. Like, get there first. And, like, see who you are. And fix, like, your killing problem where Anthony Di Benedetto, age 60, died. You know. One of, we don't know if you don't really see them. You know, or Mo by Dick. Who's Mo? Which one? Where's Dick? 1999 or 2001. Or Mildred was the best. You married her right before she died so she could sign some checks for your tax evasion. Like, whoa. Your 99-year-old aunt. Because the darkness allowed you to? The set of your program? And you want to come at me like a wall? This is my body, my penis. Why do they call it penis? E-I on the N. P.S. Naturalize yourself. This one's mine. Circumcise your head. We have a jewel singer, a jewel vape, a vape. We have a jewel in like science. We have a Joel and Connie. Jesus Christ. You know what? The blonde had to be Connie? Fix yourself, big nose. You got a lot of nose, but no action. No action. You're still begotten. You're begging. Stop begging. Stop begging. You should have moved on. Who stays with one person this long? You're Jesus, baby Jesus in a manger. 1A for baby and 1A for Michelle Manger. She's a mister. Well, that's what it is, right? Because baby, you're two B's. Won't talk about putting them together, but you're all four parents. 2 + 2. Why? Because the fifth one would be what? Jack or Jeff? You know. Well, I mean, like, how about all the other people that you bait and led me? Right? You, like, turned me into, like, mortal crying. Running from you. All over the state. As if, like, we'll never talk about it again. You see why it's easy to detach than why, what were you were going to say, you have the K problem? You're born too close to the 3 kings? You're born on the 11th, so it's the letter K in the alphabet? Your wife and Angela are KK? K-A-Y-E? They don't know why they're K-A-Y-E? You know, it's because Adam and Eve, you know, they're prototypes of the Son of Man. There's no amen and hallelujah. You're just the Son of Man. You're the living God because he is. If he was an A, he wants to share your 0. You haven't made it up yet. You haven't cut the umbilical cord of the mind of everything that he gave you because he thought you were reading his mind. What did you need to know from someone that was getting raised from a young kid? Yeah, it says John the light grows into himself. Who's the other one? John the Baptist? He's not the light. He's there to witness. He's Jesus the witness. You know, he believes he's dead. He's not in life. Nothing matters. He is the living sacrifice. Why is the second coming such a negative? Second coming. Why does it equal such a negative? It's like Satan, devil. It's like right there where you want. Coming, like CG. It's like, oh, I'm right next to God, which is like everyone else. It's like you finally switch your Crosby. You know. I think, yeah, it's like, you're like, well, we're here. And that's it. You know, and I've never had a real conversation with anyone that doesn't repeat. They'll go on the same spiel about Jesus and where he's from and the town and what year. It's like, oh my God. You know, you're the husband? To me? You know. That's when it just needs to end. You know. That way we could do the naturalization. You have the ED, first and last, and the beginning.
And helped usher in Disney's animated Renaissance era.